Hello, world.
Welcome to our podcast where we talk about anything and everything.
Nothing is off limits.
This is Everything Electrified with Hiba and James.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back, guys, to another podcast. I think this is episode 4 for us. We are here again. Hey, James, what's going on today with you?
What's going on? How you doing? It's been great.
Good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. So, today I think we're going to start off with something we like to call game time. So what you got for us for game time?
I got 2 pieces of information. Let me just start off with with the beginnings parts. Were you able to see the Pokemon event, the special event that Nintendo put out recently this week?
No.
Okay, so they were talking about the new Pokemon Arceus. I hope I'm saying it right. They're gonna be releasing that. It's gonna be like an open world, but it's gonna be like a feudal age type where the Pokemon. It's not the more modern that we're used to seeing right now with the Pokemon, captures and all that stuff. You're gonna have to do a little bit differently with them. You gotta sneak into like different bushes and go behind Pokemon. Sometimes you gotta battle those Pokemon. It looks really good. So that's gonna be interesting to actually see on the Nintendo Switch. I think you would like that.
Well, anything Pokemon on the Switch, I'm already there. So you could have just said Pokemon and Switch, and you sold me. So that's pretty cool. Did you hear about the issues Nintendo is having against a ROM site owner? They demand all the illegal games to be permanently destroyed. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that earlier this week, but they were also been suing a lot of people as well. I mean, Nintendo's just throwing down the banhammer all over the place.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've played these like fan-made Pokemon games, right?
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, those are so good. Like they're so good. I don't know, it's because they're more towards like the adult audience or something. They get rid of all the kiddie stuff with the regular Pokemon. But they're just so much fun. Like the storylines are more complex. The character development is there. I feel like the regular Pokemon, I love Pokemon by the way, but the regular Pokemon games just are such like the same thing, right? It's the same thing, rinse and repeat, same thing. You're
Course.
lonely. You have like, it couldn't be a single dad. It's always a single mom, like number
Always.
one, right? So it's always like that single mom, and you got to go on your journey. You got to get your one Pokemon for free. And then you're like, okay, like we get it. Like I've been playing this since I was like 12. Like I get it. Like let's try to make something else. And it just looks like it's just not there with them. And
I
these
wish I could. I wish I could tell you like, oh, don't worry about it. Your everything is gonna change when Arceus comes out. Nah, it's pretty much the same premise. You gonna your mom see a professor, get a Pokemon, all the same stuff you've ever had before. Choose out of 3. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So no.
Yeah, they gotta come up with something else already. Like, their fan base is the same people. It's the same people that's playing Pokemon, right? They
Mhm.
gotta come up with something else. That's just too much.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what they want to do. I have one other piece of gaming news I think you might like. Well, not like, find interesting, okay? Because it was kind of funny, and it happened this week. And okay, so Atari, you know what Atari is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this rapper came out on his Twitter and said that he made a deal with Atari, and now he's the official CEO of Atari. It's Soldier Boy. You know Soldier Boy, right?
Right. Didn't he
So
try to make his own console and it was sold out or something? But it
he
was
made
just
his
like a
he made his own console, but it was all Chinese knockoff games that he got from China. It was like drop ship, and it was like he charged you like $300 for the console, but you can get that same console for like $20 on Amazon. People were just stupidly paying for it because it said Soldier Boy on it. That's what it
yeah.
really came down to. So he's going blowing up. Like when I say blowing up, Heba, he's throughout the whole entire week he's just boasting about how he's now the new CEO of Atari. This is what's going on. Boom, 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 boom. All this stuff till yesterday. Yesterday, Atari tweets out. And he goes, "Well, we do appreciate all the advertisement kind of stuff like that because Atari's making their own revamped console. They're coming out with an Atari VCS type console. Um, we appreciate all the enthusiasm, but no, our CEO is still the CEO that we currently have." And of course, Soldier Boy responds, Not too likely to that. He literally blows up. He blows up on Twitter, cursing them out, calling them names, saying, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're bullshitting. Da, da. So he actually pulls out the contract that he signs with Atari, but it doesn't say you're now the new CEO of that of the company. It says you are like a licensee. You're like a person that they're hiring to promote Atari on the
Maybe
contract.
that's his way to promote it. Maybe that was his whole spiel.
No, he was straight up Hiba. I wish I
And
could
I'm telling
tag it.
you, people
That's
get
not.
married like as a way to promote themselves.
I know.
Like,
But he was just for like 15-minute rant of cursing freaking Atari out.
I think it's a setup. I think that's the way he's promoting it. Because imagine what's a better way to promote this by starting some stuff, like just starting some controversial stuff.
Maybe.
You know?
That's one way of looking at it, so I'll give you that much.
Yeah, because you technically, they can come back and sue him, like for saying that. Like you can't be saying stuff like that about, companies. They can come back at him. And if they're not, and they're just like, oh, thanks for the free press. We love you. Like that seems like, they knew.
Well,
or maybe they didn't know what he was going to do, but they knew that he was going to do something. Like, I don't know. That could be it.
Well, Souja Boy, when he was selling his consoles, he actually got a cease and desist from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo actually came at him and was like, yo, cut your shit out. Those are our games, okay?
Yep.
So stop. And I mean, you didn't hear too much about it. I guess like as long as he pulled it off the site, stopped promoting it, he wasn't going to get sued by Nintendo, whatever, what have you. But
that's what cease desist means. You just got to stop doing it and let it go.
Yeah. It didn't help with that website design that says you have to destroy all ROMs of that site. It didn't really help him out too much.
That kind of sucks. I mean, that's bad. I feel bad for them, but that's what the California judges decided against that guy, and that's what he has to do. So
he's still got to pay them. I forgot the judgment how much it was, but he's got to pay Nintendo money as well on top of his drawing. I think he does. Let me understand this. I think he.
Oh yeah, wait a second. It says instructed to compensate Nintendo $2.1 million.
There you go.
For violating his trademarks and copyrights.
See, on top of everything else, he's still got to pay them. That sucks.
Wait, the failure to even make the modest $50 a month payment, an amount that was proposed and agreed to, demonstrate that Nintendo has no adequate remedy at law for defendants past or. So you just want him to pay $50 a month? It just sounds like they don't really care about the money, and they're just like, just because we can, we will type of a situation. Because how are you going to get $2.1 million for $50 a month? Like, it just sounds like they're just trying to give this guy a hard time.
Come on. Nintendo doesn't need the money, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a tool. Nintendo does not need the money, okay? They're just using him as a pedestal to say, go ahead and mess with us, and we will shit on your freaking life. Yeah. That's pretty much what they're doing.
It's just a warning type of a thing. They're warning others.
Don't try it. Pretty much don't try me, because it's going to happen to everybody that will mess with them.
Crazy.
Nintendo drops the banhammer bigger than anybody else. But then again, you got to understand from where they're coming from. They're the ones who actually started this whole market up again after Atari's break from the video game industry. So in a way, good for you, Nintendo. But in another way, that kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? If I had a company, regardless how big or small it is, if someone's literally taking my property from it, whether it's like my ideas or logos, whatever, if they're taking it, I'd be pretty pissed. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm like, it's just about a feeling, right? Like a human being feeling. I'd be mad. I'd be like, but why, bro? Do your own thing. Like, you're taking my thing.
Yeah.
And I can see where Nintendo's coming from. It kind of sucks for the guy, but I see where they're coming from. And the guy who did it, like, he had to know this could be a thing that could happen to me. Like, he had, like, this could happen to you, If you're going to, like, copy somebody's stuff, eventually they could come at you and be like, I'm suing you.
100%.
So the risk against the rewards type of a situation. Did he make millions and millions of dollars where 2.1 million is nothing for him? Or...
Yeah,
he didn't make anything, and he was just doing it for fun, and now he got caught by Nintendo. I don't really know.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game and a different discussion with that, because how Nintendo gets. So
you know what? I think we're gonna move on to our next section, which is going to be some tech news.
All right, let's do it.
So, what I heard in the tech news, which was kind of shocking to me because we actually heard it because we were at a store earlier together, and the person behind the counter actually mentioned this to us. Told us while we're just doing our own thing, living our life. He's like, hey, which is really weird, which, by the way, hold on a second. I got to talk about this first. This complete kid, I'm going to call him kid because he seems young, right? He's definitely way younger than us. So this complete kid goes like, hey, guys, have you heard about da-da-da-da? And it's just a random, there's nobody in the store. It's just us. And we're like, no. What? And then he started pulling it up on his computer and showing us. And I was like, wait, what? Why are we even talking about this with this kid? What is happening here right now? This guy's really friendly. So what he told us was Apple has now decided to basically go through your phones or your iPads or eventually your Macs. And what they're trying to do is they're going to filter through all your messages, so your iMessages and your pictures. And they're doing it in the name of trying to find sex predators.
Sexual predators, yeah.
Yes. Or child pornography or anything like that, which sounds like a great cause, which sounds like, hey, yeah, that makes sense. If we can track people, why not? That sounds great. Yeah. Except they don't differ you from a sex predator. They're going to go through, so people like you and me, regular people like you and me, they're going to go through everybody's iMessages and their photos to look for these things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that. I agree with you on that one. I really don't like the way they did that. That's kind of like invasion of privacy. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I have nothing to hide, so go ahead and share. Go ahead. I
have no choice. Yeah, I have no choice. You're gonna do what you're gonna do.
You're gonna see it, but I don't like the way you're coming out. That's not why I got an iPhone. That's like opening up too much to the government to look over my phone. That's
not even the government. It's Apple. So this is what happened, guys. Let me explain it for a second, okay? Regular Joe Schmo, not doing anything bad, right? What if Joe Schmo downloads a meme, but the meme is kind of edgy? I don't know. The meme is kind of edgy, it's dark humor or whatever. That gets so the computer, their system, the computer automatically flags it, right? Then they'll have people there, I guess, in their headquarters to review it. Just to make sure, is this a real thing to be a concern with or no? If it's not, they'll move on, but they'll keep it in their database that you did something like this. And if it is of a concern, then they'll forward it to the authorities because they know where you are. They're tracking you. So they know where you are. They're going to forward it to your authorities and you're going to have police come at your door to investigate you. But think about how many false negatives that will cause. I can think of so many false negatives that would happen. So many, some people have real dark and messed up humor and they're not really doing anything, but they'll say something that goes the other way. Sometimes you joke around and you say something really left field. I don't know. I just feel like there has to be a better way to catch these evil people. Because all what's going to happen is all these people are just going to move on to another carrier. Or I should say a manufacturer. So they won't use Apple anymore. They'll go to Samsung. Or they'll go to whatever. Yeah, Nokia or BlackBerry. Whatever other carriers they're out there, they'll go somewhere else. They'll go to LG. You know what I'm saying? They'll just use something else. So you don't really prevent anything. All you're doing is letting these people go to a different carrier or manufacturer. And now all you're doing is you're paying people as a job to look through innocent people's stuff. And those people are the one getting, invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I'm sorry. I love Apple. I'm not going to change my phone because, if Apple wants to see my million photos of food and weird photos I take because I think I'll forget something, they by all means go for it. My iMessages are so boring. You can go ahead and go through them. I don't really care, but I really do feel like that's kind of messed up. That's really messed up.
Also, I just want to add too, that means that it's a software update they're going to have to release to your iPhone in order for them to go ahead and review all your pictures and photos and your messages.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you.
I think they can already do it.
Hold on, I'm getting to a point here. they're gonna release, let's say, an update, or if they can do it, that's fine. And a hacker can get to your phone. What if you would take pictures or you have personal messages that you don't want that hacker to get? What if it's someone sent you, like it happens to me one time with my dad, he's of age, they're getting up there with age, and he goes, "Can you read these numbers off my card for me? I can't read them." Takes a photo of his like credit card and sent it to me. You get what I'm saying? This is definitely something it doesn't sit well with me. It really doesn't.
It's bad. I don't agree with it. It's crazy they're doing it. It kind of opens up the possibilities to what else. Right now they put it on the umbrella of like, oh, we're trying to catch sex predators, right? Okay. But then where is the line though? What if they're like, now the government wants to be like, well, who's talking bad about us? Or who feels like what, in this election, who is talking, like they can now go through so much. It's just not private anymore. None of your conversations are private.
It's just like when I think 3.5 years ago, the internet was opened up now. So now they can, our government can go ahead. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to bring this to a conspiracy theorist, but let's be a realist. A couple of years ago, it was voted in Congress that now all your logs for the internet are open, right? So they can go to, like, let's say your carrier and go, hey, listen, I need to know what IP address this has been to. They can get your IP address of your computer, and it gives you every site you've ever been to. Your internet carrier can no longer say, well, we can't show you that, it's private. Nope, because Congress said it's okay to show it now. That's why VPNs exist. So we started out with that. Now we're moving into cell phone territory. You see what I'm saying? Where does it stop? Where does it stop?
Wait, I'm gonna go into another topic which is kind of related to this.
Okay.
So you heard about the site OnlyFans?
Yeah, I know that site.
Okay. So OnlyFans is now trying to get away from what they're known for. Because they want investors, they want like advertisers, they want to, but nobody wants to touch them because it's more in like, adult territory, right? Adult entertainment. So they're trying to move away from that, right? So they can get investors. So now all these people, or women, I should say mostly women, all these women, right, that make a living on there, right? They still need to make a living. They still need to pay bills. Like that's how they do it. Okay, cool. From like the safety of their own home and stuff like that, which is a good thing, besides being out on the street or something. So that's a good thing. Yeah. All these women out there are now losing income just because they decided to change it.
Change the platform
Or what it's supposed to be. That was their safe place and they take it away. So now imagine this. I'm going to go back to the Apple thing. They're taking the pictures or making the videos from their phone, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Imagine those pictures being like looked at in that way, like being flagged for those reasons and always being flagged, like for whatever reasons, like it's so weird. Cause like this is on the dark side, but there's like a fetish thing where these like grown men like to see, girls being like really young, even though they're not young, right? They're over 18, but they pretend to be like young girls, right? It's like a very like borderline creepy, sexual predator type of fetish, right? Mm-hmm. So, and some of these women feed on that because that's how they make their money. They see that there's a little place where they can actually make good money from this, from pretending to be like a younger girl.
Yeah.
Imagine those girls taking those photos or upload, you know what I'm saying, on an iPhone, which is now being monitored for that type of stuff.
Oh, I see where you're coming. I'm starting to connect the dots. So Sally over there is dressing up as little Timmy from a little girl, little Sally down the block from back in the day at 5 years old, and she's getting all strippy naked at 18. And we're gonna go to her house now because she looks like a little girl that's underage and shouldn't be doing it like that.
Because it's gonna get flagged. Yeah, so imagine all these people either now moving away from like iPhones and going to like a different phone in general, or having two phones, or I don't even know. But I just found that like it affects so many people in so many different ways that are not even like up to like illegal activities. So now it can go into like drug deals, right? Like people
Correct.
that look, I know like weed is legalized, right? But like if it
Yes.
goes down to like other type of hardcore drugs, and you know how you hit up your dealer, you're like, hey, yeah, even if you speak code, right? They
Yeah.
can flag code. They can tell the computer this is the keywords you're looking for. Like, you know, that they can do that. You know,
Oh,
and then they catch you that way. Like, I mean to say, it's like not
well,
safe.
we're thinking about it this way, Hiba, but I'm gonna point out I shouldn't even be saying this. I'm gonna say it, okay? So those of you guys who are listening to us right now who want to look for ideas for businesses, create a cell phone carrier that has an end-to-end control like Steve Jobs used to have, and not open up your cell phone and guarantee you'll have a shitload of clientele. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what the market's going to be opening up for. No safe cell phones.
Yeah. You know, we were just talking about if Steve Jobs were here, he would never allow this
Oh
to
hell
happen.
no.
He would never let anyone take control and provide like like okay, look, I'm gonna touch on this a little bit and we'll move on to the next segment. Look
Yeah.
at Tesla. They don't give their like they have a black box in that car. If that car was in an accident, Tesla gets all that report. They don't release it to anybody. I literally cannot go to Tesla and be like, this is my car, I own it, I want whatever recording was. They're gonna be like, yeah, no, you're not getting it. They
Yeah.
don't even give it to me and I own the thing. Okay. They don't even give it to like actual like the law. The law, like people like, you know, judges and everything has ordered them, you need to give us stuff. And they don't even give it to them either. In accidents and stuff, they don't give anything to anybody. They keep all their stuff in-house, right? So why is it that they're able to keep everything in-house, but Apple's out here trying to give everything away? Like it doesn't make sense. Like what did they have to do? They had to get some type of incentive to do this. There was some back end deal where they're like, all right, with the government, like, all right, I'll do this, but I need to get this back in return. There had to be something. There's no way they just wake up and we're like, yeah, we'll just monitor all these phones now. Like, there's no way. Something had to
Tim
happen.
Cook, what are you freaking doing to Apple, bro? That's all I'm saying. Take a step back and think about the speech you gave a couple of years ago. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, guys. San Bernardino, he came out and you could see it's still on YouTube. I'm sure it's out there where he said, I didn't want to cooperate with the police, not because I didn't feel like I didn't want to know it's a tragedy, is that I didn't want to break all your privacy off your phones and give them that back door. Right now, you're giving them that back door. I'm pointing it out right now. Just saying.
I think it's just iMessage and photos. Start taking photos on like third party apps and start like don't message anything on iMessage. Like that's the only way you can avoid it because Apple cannot go through other people's apps or applications. That's other companies. They can't do that. Now, if you're going to use WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, I'm sure Facebook is in bed with the government anyway. So I mean, that's not going to help you. But if you went to like real third party apps, like you know the one that we use, like WeChat, it's like China.
Yeah.
Ain't China giving nobody shit. I'm just telling you right now. Like,
not hearing any of that shit.
They're not getting anything. So something like that would be like the only way. So I mean, there are other ways around this. You just force other people to get creative. Like you're not doing anything but making other people get creative, and the innocent people giving them a hard time.
Yeah.
And making them want to leave your you know
your platform.
Products. Yeah. That's just exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
makes sense.
We're gonna move on to the next topic. I don't want to talk about this too much. You know,
All right.
We're gonna get into some Tesla talk.
All right, baby, let's go.
Okay, so I have a few different things. A lot has happened in this week for Tesla. A lot. So I'm gonna start with the smallest thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I went to order my car, right, which was in the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
The deposit was only $100 or the order fee or whatever it was, right?
Whatever it was.
Yeah. So you pay that $100. It doesn't count towards anything, by the way. It doesn't count towards the price of the car. It's just literally $100. So they know you're serious. Yes. So they know you're serious.
Bastards. Okay. Do I get the $100 back?
No.
So they get to pocket that?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, go ahead.
So that being said, now the fee has jumped to $250.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
So now you have to pay $250 for them to hold your spot, and it goes to nothing, and they pocket it.
Yes. So
what
almost
the fuck?
$300 you have to pay to order it. But let me tell you why they did that. this is what I hear through the grapevines, okay? Because I'm in a lot of different Tesla groups, and this is what I'm hearing.
Fuck out of
They
here.
did this, right? Because people were making multiple orders of the same car because they were trying to see which one comes first.
Wow.
So people were out there trying to like, I've seen them in groups where they're like, yeah, I ordered it like 3 times. I'm just trying to see whichever one gets the VIN first. And they'll order like different type of like variations of it just to see whichever one comes first, and they'll cancel the rest. So now they moved it up to 250 to prevent that. That's what I've heard. That's why they did it. Now the
No.
Tesla Cybertruck, it was always 250 or 200 or something, or 250 to pre-order it. That was always 250. But now they're moving it on to the other cars to make it higher. I don't know what their deal is. Like, they're trying to prevent people from ordering more cars or something. I'm not exactly sure.
All right. Tesla, we get it. We like your cars. But you take too fucking long to make them. Okay? That's why people are ordering like 5 or 6 different variations of your car, because they don't want to wait for this long. But then again, guys, in a safe token of it all, you know we're in a chip shortage, right? Just saying, no matter how many times you put your order in, you rich bastards out there, understand that it ain't going to go any faster than that because of the chip shortage. Just think about it. Fucking crazy Tesla, man. Now you just screwed it up for everybody.
Yeah, I thought $100 was a pretty good deal, but $250, you gotta real think about it, you know, like $250, like $300.
That's not cheap. That's fucking a lot of money, and you're keeping it. You're not even It's not going to the final cost, Hiba. You're keeping it. Get the fuck out of here.
I thought it was gonna minus 100, but it doesn't minus shit.
Bastards.
Nothing. It's just an order fee that they collect.
Bullshit.
Which an order fee for you to order your own car. Not even like, oh, you went to somebody and they had to order it for you, so they're charging you a fee because they have to pay that person. No, it is $100 or $250 now, regardless of how you order it. You're always gonna have to pay that fee. That's crazy. I think it'll drop it back down to 100 eventually. It might not. It might be like, it might go to 150. I'm not sure, but now it's 250, and that's crazy.
That makes you really rethink about.
Remember I told you should have ordered it when it was $100. I was like, hey, it's just $100. Just order it.
You did, and I hear you.
Now I'm not gonna tell you that because it's like $250. Now I'm not gonna be like, hey, just order it. I was like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, $250, and I have to really rethink that shit if I really want that goddamn car or not.
That's a Nintendo Switch. You can have a Nintendo Switch now, or you may get a car in 6 months.
You might.
Yeah, you
hold your breath.
You know, there's other articles about them too, which is kind of like troublesome. Their stocks dropped this week, okay? And the reason why it dropped was because they're being investigated into their like autopilot system. Like the US government is formally investigating them. I forgot what agency this was. Let's see. Yeah, federal vehicle safety regulators have launched a formal investigation into Tesla's autopilot system because they said there's so many crashes. Now, the crashes they're talking about is this. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Let's say you have your Tesla. You're driving down the highway on your Tesla. You have autopilot on. Autopilot, full self-driving, doesn't matter at this point. It's the same thing. You have it on, right? The car's in control. Mm-hmm. Let's say there's an accident up ahead and there's emergency vehicles up ahead. Right? So that means the accident has already happened. There's police, there's ambulance, there's like workers, they're trying to direct the traffic and everything. Autopilot fully ignores all of that and they crash into these emergency vehicles.
Oh, shit.
So that's what they're investigating, guys. So it's not they're investigating just the car just crashing in general. They're investigating a very set of things that's happening, autopilot and emergency vehicles. So they don't know what it's the lights that throw the cars off. Like they're not exactly sure why it's happening, but there's like about 17 cases, 17, where the car on autopilot just keeps going and they crash into these emergency vehicles and they hurt like the workers there or the emergency workers, whatever you want to call them. They hurt people because they're crashing into them.
I just want to point out, guys, normal driver's license, if you take your driver's license, when you see an emergency vehicle, no matter what it is, whether it be an EMT, a fire truck, or a police officer on the side of the road, no matter where you're at, highway or not, you're supposed to slow down. And then you pass them like around 10 or 15 miles an hour, or maybe 20, depending on the highway. You slow down. Tesla doesn't see that. It keeps going like 65. That's not good.
I told you the difference is they need a minimum speed and a maximum speed. They only have a max speed, and the car is always trying to reach that max speed. Like no matter what, it is trying to reach that max speed. Okay. But
Jesus
my other
Christ.
thing is, you as a human being, what the hell are you doing behind the wheel? You as a person, as a driver, what are you doing? You're telling me, okay, fine, your car can't see the lights or whatever it is, right? You're telling me you can't see the lights. You're telling me you can't see traffic slowing down. You're telling me you don't see anything happening in front of you. You just let the car do whatever. You just like, well, I'll let Jesus take the wheel here now. And then just
Jesus
like,
is my co-pilot.
yeah,
Not anymore.
Jesus is gonna drive my Tesla. Like Jesus and the computer. Like here you go.
Shit.
Like what are you doing? Like why wouldn't you see something like that and slow down and like take control? Like me personally, anytime I feel like my car is being a little weird or I don't believe in its abilities, I take over that thing quick. All you have to do is tap the brake a little bit. You are in full control now. So I feel like these people are either doing other stuff and they're just definitely not paying attention, or their reaction times are so slow that even if they were driving it, they still would have hit the people. But now Tesla's under fire for this, you know?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So that's so crazy to me because like no other manufacturer goes under fire for this stuff. Like no other manufacturer.
But then again, Hiba, this is an autopilot system. What other manufacturer besides Tesla has that enabled
they
in their
do.
vehicles?
Porsche has
Who?
them. The new Ford Mach-E has them. They all have this.
And and Tesla's the only one that's under fire? How is that
Yeah.
possible?
Because it's the most popular one.
Okay.
Think about how many Teslas are there versus a Ford Mach-E that just came out this year.
Okay.
And how many people can purchase that new Porsche, electric Porsche that's $140,000? Like you just compare it to those type of things, and Tesla's is the most popular one. But you know, it's like, yeah, it's bad, but I feel like the drivers need to be investigated.
Yeah.
You
Something's
know,
going
like
on. Someone needs to talk. Well, the drivers definitely need to be investigated. Don't you come blame it all on Tesla. I mean, yes, Tesla's at fault. I will still give them blame. But you as a driver that's supposed to be looking on your road, because Tesla does tell you, if you're on autopilot, still keep an eye on the road. Keep your hands on the wheel. Don't take them off the wheel in case you have to suddenly take control of the vehicle.
yeah, absolutely. I just can't believe it. I feel like these people aren't paying attention.
Not
It
at all.
feels so strange to me that, you know, you don't see the lights, you don't see the emergency, like you don't see that and you don't take control. Like shouldn't that be a normal reaction for you? Like, oh my god, there's something happening, let me just take control of the car right now.
Yep.
Like why wouldn't that be a normal? Why would you just let the car do whatever you want it to do? Like that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't even let this car take exits for me because it's so scary. Like I mean,
Oh yeah, we had that today.
yeah, I don't even know what it was trying to do in this exit. It just gave up after a while. Like that's so weird. Like
You know what? Here, and it did it abruptly. Okay, real quick. I'm sorry, but I have to address that because as a passenger in your car today, it was kind of on that scary side a little. We were driving, guys. We were getting off a road. Me and Hiba were just going to get something to eat. We were getting off of the road, and all of a sudden, you know, the car automatically turned the freaking. I guess it was the last exit. It turned the blinkers on to go to the right lane, so it took us over. So Hiba was like, "Whoa, what happened?" When it gets to the turn, it's doing the turn around 55. It felt like it was going fast, going around that turn. And then, all of a sudden, you hear boom, boom, which means, okay, take control. At 55, it didn't even slow down for her. She had to slow down as quickly as possible because the car was going a fucking crazy amount of speed. It wouldn't even slow down.
wait, so now imagine this. Tesla's half-baked demo autopilot full self-driving software, right? Was causing all these issues. This week, they also revealed that they're making a Tesla bot. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
What?
Yeah.
Judy Jetson's coming to my house? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Listen,
Okay, outta here.
it's coming next year, by the way.
Oh, God. Yeah, save us.
And his whole spiel was that we're trying to make a bot to do things that we humans find annoying or boring.
How about clean my
repetitive.
house?
Yeah. But it's using the same technology that's in the car in this bot. So imagine if your bot thought you were like an intruder, like the software done messed up, right?
Well, iRobot,
like,
Will Smith.
Imagine it thought it was like trying to protect the your house or something. I thought you were the intruder because the camera was messed up or something, right? I don't know. I just feel if you Google it, guys, Google Tesla bot so you can read about it. But it's weird. It's weird. So it's like 5'8" robot. It's supposed to weigh 125 pounds. It's built with lightweight materials. Its head is gonna have all like the same cameras used for autopilot, by the way.
Oh God.
It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna know the environment. It's gonna have a screen to display the information, and it will have like the Tesla's full self-driving software inside of it. So it's gonna be the same thing. Okay, it's in now. He had to say this, by the way. It's intended to be friendly. You have to tell me a rover's intended to be friendly. It means like.
I just want to point out. I get it, Hiba, what you're about to say, but I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be a guy. It's gonna be friendly. Are you sure? How friendly? How friendly?
Because I have about 50 other movies that I've seen where robots are not friendly, and we are coming to this.
Bro, how friendly? I want to leave it out there with the guys. Just think about it. How friendly is that robot gonna really be to you? Just put it out there.
Not that, no. Because, okay, I'm going to tell you something. So, it shows, like, if you watch his slideshow where he revealed this, it shows you where all the motors are, where he can move. Like, I guess the robot, where they can move. And the robot is very, very slow, by the way. Like, they made it, like, purposely, like, extremely slow. So, it's not going to have the reaction time of humans or the speed of a human. It's just supposed to be for tasks that you find repetitive and boring, right? So, for example, what could be repetitive and boring that you would have to do as a human? Washing dishes, taking out the trash, ironing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, like, what would you need? Because I bet you this robot is probably, like, the worth of a car.
Definitely. That's facts.
It's going to cost you, like, $35,000 for you to have it. So only these, 100%. Like, rich-ass people are going to be able to get it, right?
Yeah. No one going to be able to afford that shit. Watch.
Yeah. So he said in the future, physical work will be a choice. So you just have the robot doing it. So again, like taking out the trash, you know, walking the dog, watering the plants, you know, like things like that. So you can do other stuff.
Has anyone ever seen any shows regarding robots like Caprica, iRobot? I just want to point out, even Odyssey, Space Odyssey, okay? How? Yeah. And you're going to give all that shit to a robot. Not feeling that right now. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, this robot is scary looking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Imagine the robot starts seeing like ghosts in your house. Like if you had a haunted house, and then the robot can now see the ghost and starts interacting with the ghost because it thinks it's a thing. Like that would be.
How about you sleeping in bed and the robot tries to wake you up out of bed, like comes over at
Yo, I swear to God, this robot needs to be locked in the garage somewhere because it is not trying to come into my room at night trying to wake me up. That's some creepy thing. Do you know what it says here? I'm going to read this article from CNET, right?
Go ahead.
Okay. With Musk providing few details about the slightly creepy, slender man-looking robot beyond a few PowerPoint slides. They literally called it slightly creepy, slender man-like robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does not seem friendly to me.
I don't know about that, Musk. I'm not giving thumbs up on that one.
I don't think we're ready for robots. If we're not ready for full self-driving cars, we ain't ready for robots. Like, think about the summon thing that I had to do. I'm gonna put out a summon video with this podcast for this week, so you'll see a summon video. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check out that summon video. I have to be in a very small radius to even summon my car, even when I summon my car, it's just glitchy, right? So imagine trying to summon a robot. Like, imagine trying to summon your $40,000 robot and it just like walks right over the dog or something. Like, I don't know. Like, the software is just not there. You know, so
we're not there yet. He's pushing too far from the stars. He's just really going too far up on that. He really is.
Yeah, like sometimes I'm like, are you trying to go to Mars? Are you trying to do self-driving cars? Or now you're trying to make a robot? Like, I get where the ambition is and somebody has to do this, but really it's just I don't know.
You need to perfect your equipment before you want to go ahead and move on to the next project, don't you think?
Yeah. For sure. Why don't we put the robot into a spaceship and throw them into Mars and let them go to Mars and do stuff on Mars? And by the time we get there, we're actually slaves to the robots because they've advanced so much in Mars.
That's actually fact. Oh, how about this? I thought you were gonna take that another way around. Like by the time we get there, the robot already had the house built. Already
Yeah, they do.
Crops,
they do.
everything.
That's the thing. They do, right? They do, and they called you. That's how they lure you. You're like, yeah, it's great. It's safe for humans now. We've done everything. We've done all the work. But then when you get there, they make you their slaves, right?
The Planet of the Robots.
That's a good movie. Please don't steal that, Hollywood.
Don't steal that, Hollywood.
That's a good movie. If you can execute it, that's pretty good. You send the robots to Mars. They do all the heavy lifting they do because they don't need to breathe, right? So you have nothing to give them like food or water or anything like that. They don't need any of that. They can survive the Mars conditions. Let them go up there. Let them build this Mars. And then they get so smart and we don't realize how smart they get that they lure us over there. And of course, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with humans going to Mars. Not everybody's going to Mars, guys. They're not going to bring this whole population to Mars. I don't care what anyone says. Only the smartest people are going to end up going to Mars. They're going to sell tickets to like the richest people. Okay, they're gonna give the tickets to the smartest people for free. So like the Nobel Prize winners, they're gonna give the tickets to like the athletes. So if you're like an Olympic athlete, you're gonna get it. Like the regular folks like us, the regular Joe Schmo that gotta do these jobs, we may or may not be part of a lottery system because you still need schmucks like us to work for them, right? So you need people to work for these type of guys.
Slaves.
So we might have a lottery system where some of us might go, but the rest of us gets to die here on Earth. So please recycle.
Oh my
Recycle.
God. Global warming.
Save the environment. Exactly. And that's why we have a hurricane happening in August here in New York because of global warming. We have to recycle and save this planet because there's no hope for the rest of us, really. Like there's no hope of me going to Mars unless I've just become an instant like rich person or I can develop a skill that no one has all of a sudden or something. There's no chances of me going to Mars, right? So I'm going to end up dying on this planet. That's what it's looking like.
You're not the only one. I'm probably gonna be this right behind you on that one, because I ain't that smart. Okay.
You might end up going. They might make you take a test, and if you pass a test, they'll consider you.
Yeah.
You could probably get on Mars, but you would have to leave everybody else.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody you got to leave them, including your dog. Yeah, say bye to your dog too.
Yeah. No, not gonna happen. I guess I'll die here because I ain't going on no Mars.
Okay. I'm just gonna
unless they Star Trek our way up to freaking victory, I ain't going on Mars.
Just save this planet, guys. You don't need another planet. Save this one. How about that? Why are you gonna go to another planet and destroy that? Save this planet, please. All right, I'm gonna go on to our last section here, and it's going to be movie review.
Movie, baby.
Okay, so this week we saw this new movie that just came out, Reminiscence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with Hugh Jackman. Now, this movie is in theaters. You can, watch it in theaters, or you can, rent it. Not even rent it. I'm sorry. You can watch it on HBO Max if you have a subscription. You can watch it through them, and it is offered through them. Correct. Now, the only reason I watched this video, it had a very interesting premise. It is a new video, and I like to do new video reviews for you guys and stuff like that. So that's why I watched it. It had an interesting premise. But I'm going to tell you right now, within the first 20 minutes, I wanted to turn this bitch off so bad. I wanted to.
Yeah.
If it was not for you guys, like if I was not trying to save you guys 2 hours of your life, I would have turned this thing
sappy
off
shit.
So bad. Like so bad. It's so slow.
Wait. Before we get into it, I want to say it right now. I don't want to say it. I know Hiba's about to get into our soapbox. Spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, stop this podcast right now.
Don't see this movie. Actually, listen to the spoilers so I can save you 2 hours of your life. Do not watch this movie. Please do not watch this movie. Okay? Yes, there are spoilers. Yes. Do not watch this movie because it is
trash.
Horrible. It's so bad. Like, trash. I mean, the concept is interesting.
All right.
The storyline is interesting.
So let's go on this. Let's touch it a little bit. The concept is this. Hugh Jackman is some kind of freaking doctor. Not doctor, like an interrogator, and then the future, and they go into this machine, and you can relive your past memories. he puts you in some kind of state, like he puts you in like a catatonic state where you're thinking
Some
about the
drugs are
past.
involved, some
Drugs are involved,
technology is
technology,
involved.
and he
Yeah.
could see what you're seeing in your dream, in your
In your
mind,
memories.
in your memories. So
So why would you need this? Like criminals, you can find their memories and find,
drugs,
what they're guilty
all that
for, stuff
stuff.
like that.
Yeah.
People use it for their own things. So let's say you had you lost a loved one and you want to relive that memory, you can like go to his business and he'll like have you revisit that memory. According to the movie, the memory makes you feel like it's happening in real life. Like it feels like even though it's a memory to you, all your feelings become like real. So you actually feel that person and you feel that moment. So that's why people like to do it that way. And that's why police likes to do it so they can find these criminals and have charges against them. So that's what this movie's about, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So the whole concept is he gets involved with the wrong person, or it might be the right person or the wrong person. I don't know. It's a lot of like a mystery, sci-fi thriller type of a situation, but it's so slow.
Yeah.
It is the slowest thing to develop. Like it took like an hour and 20 minutes into it for me to actually be like, oh,
Okay,
that's
I'm trying to understand
what
what's
this
going
is
on.
all is
Yeah.
about. Like they showed me so much like information that I didn't care for. And if I didn't pay attention to it, I was never gonna figure out this movie. Like it was like
No.
you have to be on it to figure it out. I have a few questions for you, James, as
What?
for you, someone who's seen the movie.
All right.
Spoiler alert, if you still want to see this movie after I told you it's horrible, then don't listen
Stop.
anymore.
Yeah.
But if you want to be smart and listen to me, continue listening. My whole spiel is they have a tank of water, correct?
So, yeah, half a tank, but yeah.
Yeah, they have like a tank of water you lay in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they recycle that water when the next person comes in? Or
I
do
don't-
they
I don't
just
think
like
they
have
ever
the
changed
thing?
it.
I've never seen it. Like, is it just assumed they're just putting new water in this tank? Or is
Yeah.
it and naked people are just getting in this tank one after another?
Pretty
Like, is that
much.
what's happening? Like, I just found that really gross. Is that just the COVID in me? Just like,
Whoa, wait. So this was one thing I wanted to point out that made me laugh halfway through the movie. Now, this movie is supposed to be a serious, sad kind of drama. It made me laugh at one point because for that girl that Hugh Jackman liked,
yeah,
he had to see a butt-ass naked get into the tank. No problem. I can understand that. That's, whatever. But when later on, his partner, I guess, like, because, he has a actual assistant, she has to get into the tank, and she covered up her bits.
yeah.
So what was the difference between naked chick and cover the bits? I guess it's because plot, which I'm really tired of plot. It made no fucking sense. That's what pissed me off.
Well, the naked chick was gonna be his girlfriend. He's interested in her. He's not interested in his assistant. That's like almost like a sister to her.
Yeah.
So he's not interested in seeing that.
But the reason why, if you listen to her, she had to take everything off so there's no impedance in between the memories, right? So that's why you're butt-ass naked. The assistant should be butt-ass naked to follow the same suit. It did not. It's because movie plot didn't want it to go that route.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, if one lady had to be naked, the other one should be naked too, and they're
Correct.
not. I'm going to tell you something, right? So I took film study in college, right?
Yeah.
I had a class where I took film study. And there's something that the professor there told me. And they said, like, if you look at all Hollywood movies, right? There will never be, like, a main lead chick, right? There's always a main guy that's the lead, right?
Of course.
Some movies there's main chicks and whatever. But if you look at it really, really closely, the main chick, right, will only talk to male characters, will only be on screen with male characters, will never be alone. In any Hollywood movie you can pick out from the bunch, they will never be alone on the main screen. There will always be a male character, and they're always interacting with male characters. They'll never interact with female characters. If they do interact with another female character, it's always about the male character. It is never about anything else. Never about the plot. It's never about anything about the movie. Never about anything. It's always about the male character. Which was very interesting because I literally, since I've heard this was many years ago, since I've heard that, I've always looked for movies where two females first of all, they never end up talking to each other. Two females in a movie will never talk to each other. But if they do end up talking to each other, it's always about the male character. It's never about anything else.
That's
and
a little
it's just,
extreme.
it's very sexist. That's what it's coming down to. It's extremely sexist. So even in this movie, the two females never really talk to each other. Okay, they always had the male character in the scene. They never
Well,
speak to each other.
in a
Right.
way, I'm gonna have to. I have to call you. I'll call you on that one. At one point later on, that like I said, the assistant chick goes into the
Talk to
tank.
her.
Right? He has to. She talks to the main female
Yeah,
character,
he
but
does
only for
about
10
the
minutes.
only about the male character.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it goes again to proving the point that I'm trying to make. They only talk about the male character. They never talk about anything that advances the plot in any way.
It does, yeah, exactly. First
That's
of all,
what I'm trying to say.
They touch on the male character, but mainly it was about a little bit of background on his assistant because you find out, well, she had a daughter, and then she was a drunk and all sorts of craziness. But you do find out, and then later on, to move the plot along, yes, you find out, well, you left her by herself and she got into my vault. But it's not her fault. It's your fucking fault because you technically gave the key to the chick that you thought was a legit chick.
Yeah. You know, there was another thing that I didn't like about the whole memory thing. Okay.
Yeah.
When you are looking at someone's memory, right?
Yeah.
So that person's in the tank and you're looking at their memory. Shouldn't you look at it as like a first person view? Shouldn't it be through their eyes? How are they seeing their own memory as a third person?
This is, I mean,
that just kind of bugs me so much
true.
because like when she was looking at her memories about when she lost the keys, right? You're literally looking at it as a third person into it instead of like being her eyeballs and that's her memory. How is she like that? Bugs me. That's the biggest plot thing that I've ever seen in my life.
All right, I mean, I can explain that kinda. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can explain it. One is she's probably seeing it through her eyes, right? Because she's doing the action. The computer that he's probably built can pull out and see a 360 view of what's going on. So it could be because of the computer system.
You're too much thinking into it.
Because I'm a tech guy, okay? That's why. It makes sense to design it that way.
It makes sense for the movie, yes, but it really doesn't make sense in real life. Like if that was like a real thing, a real business where you could go, you should be able to see things through your eyes because that's how you remember it.
I do want to.
I never remember myself as a third person in my memories. I remember myself as a first person view and everything else that went on with me.
Yeah, but that's because it happened to you. But everybody else, because of the system, can see around that shit. But then again, it's a movie, so they're trying to get that around that plot. I do want to discuss something real quick. I would never, personally, want to live any of my experiences. You learn from your experiences. You're the person you are from your experience, and you move forward.
So you don't want to relive any memory?
No, I don't want to relive any memory from my past at all. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
What do you mean?
Like you can revisit like your memory of somebody that's no longer here anymore.
I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I'm missing it.
Okay. So the memory, right, it's not so much like an event. It could be a person that no longer exists.
Okay.
So imagine if you lost somebody and now you can visit them in your memory. And you can see them again in your memory.
But that's all that's going to do is bring up my pain. I don't want to bring up my pain again of that person that I lost.
Well, sorry to say, spoiler alert, that's exactly what this dude ends up doing. Yeah, living in his memories.
Okay, I want to talk about that because I want to talk about that. Now, I said to you guys, I don't want to relive any of my past memories at all. But turns out some convoluted way, the main guy in this movie, Hugh Jackman, fucks up somehow and was gonna go to jail. They don't even tell you how long he's gonna go to jail for, but I take it he's going to jail for life towards the end of the movie. You figure out like he's there for a long time, and he cuts out a deal with the DA of the movie, and they go, okay, so how do you want to serve your time? Now, if I had to serve my time, I think I would do it the way he chose. He lives the memory of the dead girl the girl that he met. She dies.
I don't know how is that a sentence. Like, I'm not exactly sure how that's a sentence.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic. I mean, she came. Of course, the assistant comes and puts flowers by his pod or whatever, just to show that she still remembers him. And you can see that Jackman, the character, is getting older because he's in that pod.
Who shaves him, by the way?
Who shaves him? Who cleans him? How's he still alive? How's he still getting food and nutrients? Because the body still needs that shit. We don't even look over that shit because the movie says "fuck you." That's why this movie pisses me off, and this why movie is bullshit.
Listen, there was this scene where he got into like a day bed, right, with that chick that he likes, right,
Yeah.
outside day bed.
Yeah.
And once he got on that day bed, he had like the dirtiest freaking feet I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
And I was freaking out. I was like, is this him as an actor having dirty feet? Or this was staged for the movie for some reason to have dirty feet? What does this mean? Like, it was nasty. Like, why?
As you can see, him only focused on his feet and not the
Yeah,
fucking
because
plot. Not
it was
the plot.
dirty because the plot was boring as hell. That scene was like 20 minutes for no reason. I was like, please move on. Stop talking to each other and move on.
It's supposed to show you his like love for him. It didn't even matter. Who cares? The movie fucking sucks ballsack.
Nasty
Just
ass feet,
don't
bro.
spend $20 and go to the movies and watch this fucking movie.
Don't even watch it for free. If someone pays you $20, say no thank you.
Wow, it's that bad.
It's so bad. I mean, the story is interesting. The concept is really there, but it's not good. And for that, I'm going to give it a rating of 1.5 out of 5 sausage fingers.
It gets a 1 from me.
1 for you. I'm going to do 1.5 because I give it for an interesting storyline. It wasn't executed properly.
That's why I gave it 1. Because the interesting
1.5
storyline.
sausage fingers. And that's it, guys. That's all I have. Do not watch this movie. Save yourself some time. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining in. Go ahead, subscribe, like, hit that follow button. We'll have more videos for you. We'll have another podcast. Maybe we'll have something about this hurricane that's happening. Go ahead and stay tuned. Thanks again, guys. See you next week.
Thank you so much. Take care.